As we've mentioned in our blog, we're really chuffed to bits that we've won the Good Housekeeping taste test. Overall winner, our Stilton, our signature Stilton. It is absolutely delicious. And we wanted to show you a little bit of insight into how this is made. It takes 8 to 12 weeks just to get like this, just so it gets this tasty. So we're going to take you into the creamery, into the dairy, and show you how it's made and show you how much effort goes into just a humble piece of cheese that ends up on your Christmas table. So Robin, you've got to tell us how you make this fantastic cheese.
Well, it all starts with the milk. The milk arrives here very early in the morning, fresh from the farm, about 5:30. It is then pasteurised and fed into the vats. Once the milk is in the vat, we've added the various ingredients, the first being the starter cultures. We then add the blue mould, Pelicillium rock 40, and then the rennet. The rennet clots the milk, it thickens it into a gel. Then the cheesemaker will walk through the vat, cutting that curd by hand to create small cubes.
So what happens once it's cut and the curds and the wheys are separated?
The curd is left to drain for 24 hours. And that's unique in Stilton making. No other cheese is made like that. We then mill the curd, which is breaking the curd down into small walnut-sized pieces, and then we mix in salt by hand. Then we transfer the curd and the salted curd into hoops or Stilton moulds, and the curd is then left to drain.
So do you press it at this point? You press the cheese?
No, we do not press Stilton. What we're trying to do is to create an open texture within the cheese, so when we want the blue mould to grow, it's got an area to grow. The cheese will sit in the mould for about 4 days, and then they're ready to be rubbed up. And rubbing up is unique again in the Stilton industry. We smooth the coat over, it stops the blue growing, and then gives it a lovely coat. The cheese will condition and mature for the next 5 weeks at set humidities and set temperatures in our unique maturing rooms.
So how does the blue mould get into the cheese?
At 5 weeks old, once we pierce the cheese, we introduce air inside the cheese, and that blue mould will start to grow slowly over the next 3 or 4 weeks.
So it's 5 or 6 weeks old. Is it ready to eat now?
Not ready to eat quite yet. The texture at this point is quite grainy. The flavour will be quite sharp and bitter. What will happen over the next couple of weeks is that the flavour will mellow out, and then the cheese is ready to be graded.
So what's the difference between 8 weeks old and 12 weeks old?
The cheese is kept at quite a low temperature, so it will mature quite slowly. So the flavour will develop at quite a slow rate over that sort of 4-week period. So it'll go from a fairly sort of bitter flavour, bit of a grainy texture, to a much more mellow, smooth, sort of silky texture in the mouth. Stilton is a relatively young cheese, and at 3 months old, it's about perfect to be eaten.
So that's how this fantastic cheese is made. Robin, thanks very much.
Not at all. Great to have you here, Neil.
So now you've met some of the characters at the creamery, and you've seen how much passion is involved in making this great piece of cheese, and that's why it beat Harrods in the Good Housekeeping taste test, and that's why this should be on your cheese board this Christmas. It is, and I can tell you, it is absolutely delicious. It will definitely be on my cheese board this Christmas. It's a sound investment. It is delicious.